welcome back to TubeTalk.
Thank you, Doug. Welcome back to you too. As we get to the end of level 4.
Yes.
Lockdown. Go to level 3 next week.
A bit more flexibility around the area.
Yeah, a bit more flexibility, and it looks like so horses in New Zealand will be able to return to training.
It's very good
which
news.
is great, and the program's been released for racing to start on 1 July. So all very positive steps.
Anyway, let's get straight to it. So last week we had no runners because Moomba's race was scratched. However, both our bit of the weeks came in.
Yeah! So Moomba's didn't get to run. He was meant to run Wednesday this week then, but he drew the outside barrier, so he's been scratched again and waiting for another week. And he's just a horse that's got lots and lots of ability, third fresh up in Australia, but he's just pulling a bit hard at the moment, so we want to get a good draw so we can just settle in behind them and get cover. And so it's worth waiting for that because he's got a big future. But yeah, bets of the week last week. Boom! Entente started, we backed him at $10. He ended up starting $4.80. And King's Legacy won. And we had a nice little multi actually, didn't we, Doug? We had a place of Entente into a win on King's Legacy. And we got a nice little return, which will fund our punting for this week.
Hope you better on that one.
Yeah.
Is there any yearlings you want to talk about that?
There is, Doug, actually. There's one yearling I want to talk about, and it's the Vadamos Artbeat filly. Her half sister ran on Saturday at Caulfield and placed last Saturday. Really, really good. She's only had 2 runs this time in. Was second fresh up and then ran third at a city meeting in Mornington, but it was a Saturday city meeting, and then ran third, covered a lot of ground, fought hard, only nailed late. It's already stakes placed. It's a really, really good family. And the of course, Vadamos was a Group 1 winner, and his Simon's son has left the winners of 3 Melbourne Cups. So this filly that hopefully we can see walking around about now is out of a Group 3 winner. And given her international pedigree and given what Arctic Shock's been done, there's been quite a lot of interest in it, and sold some more shares the last couple of days. And we're getting down to the narrow end. There's not many shares left in her, and everyone can start to see how valuable she could become. Beautiful filly. Breaker said she's incredibly tough. Said it's probably the toughest horse he's broken in all year. He said has a great attitude. He said I can actually see her running a bit earlier than you think because she's so tough. So have a look at her. Bought at a great price. Would love to have you involved.
Okay. This week, on Thursday at Newcastle, we have Sacred Sweep.
Yeah, second up. So his first up run as a maiden was over 1,200 metres, which is too short for him, and he struck a really, really strong sprinting field as well. But his best work was late. He ran 6th. It wasn't a bad run. We were quite happy with it. He's the kind of horse who is by Sacred Falls, and so he's going to keep improving with time and also as he gets over more ground. So he gets out to 1,500 metres. Only an 8-horse field, but he's got a slightly awkward draw. The 1,500 metres at Newcastle will suit him. It is quite a strong field. Again, he seems to have struck 2 strong maiden fields in a row, but I expect to see him improve on his first up run and run well, and then improve again as he gets more racing under his belt. Not the finished product yet, but I think we'll see him take another step in the right direction.
Okay. Friday at the Gold Coast, we have 4 runners.
Potentially 4 runners, Doug. We do. It's a big day. It's not a provincial. It's a city meeting. It's a metropolitan meeting too.
The first one at race 2 is Manison.
Manison has had 2 seconds in a row from his only 2 starts. He's the best horse in this field. There's no doubt, no question. He's a very, very promising stayer. But we've got barrier 14. And the 1,400 metres is going to be well short of his best. We are going 1,400 metres because when horses start their career, even if they're stayers, it does help them to run over shorter distances with a faster tempo to start with. It sort of just teaches them to get into a nice rhythm and get off the bit a little bit. So that's why we're just keeping him to these distances at the moment. Barrier 14 makes it incredibly tough. We're probably going to have to burn early, use up a lot of gas. He's also got a clear top weight of 60 kilos. He is only a 3-year-old. So while he's the best horse in the field, I think this is a very, very tough ask for him. If he's going to have to use a lot of gas early, try and get a spot. But his ability will take him a long way. But things just don't seem to be quite fall into place for this race. But hopefully his ability carries over that and he can win anyway.
Race 4, second horse is Rakik.
Rakik, yes. So Rakik, he strikes a very similar field to the one he raced in last start where he ran 4th. But we probably made a slight mistake last start. We had him, he was a short price favourite and he ended up racing wide, 3 wide in a small field for quite some time. And then once he got across and settled outside the leader, he probably should have put the pressure on because he's a fit horse a lot further out, and he just got left a bit flat-footed. And his run was okay for 4th, but I think we might try slightly different tactics. He's got an awkward draw again, barrier 5 in a 6-horse field, and the natural leader's drawn barrier 1. But we might just have to sort of make it a bit more of a staying test, I think. And he's better off at the weights this week against the winner that he raced against last time, 57 kilos. So I think if he makes it that kind of race, I think that he's a winning chance. Has been up a while. He could be looking for a break at some point as well. So I think this race will tell us whether he's looking for a break or not. But yeah, different tactics, and I think we can see him be very competitive.
Third horse at race 5 is Ferry Me Home.
Ferry Me Home trialled really, really well leading into this race. Again, a bad draw, 14. Like, none of our horses have drawn well this week. It's very frustrating. But it is only going to be a 10-horse field, so he'll jump from barrier 9 of 10. Getting position with cover is the key. If he can get a position with cover, if he gets position with cover at the back of the field and they walk, it's going to be very tough for him. If he can sort of get a position and a little bit handier with cover, I think he's a genuine winning chance. I think he's a horse that's still got quite a bit in front of him. I think he's on an upward scale, and I think the distance suits as well. But where he sits in the running will be key.
Mm-hmm. And final horse, race 6, is Stardome.
Stardome, who we think has come back very well. His gallops have been excellent. He's getting a really good report from his riders. It's only a starting point. It's only a 1400 metre race, and it's not an ideal race. It's a class 6, and he's actually a class 3 horse, so he's well out of his grade and well out of the weights. It's not an ideal race, but with the way that the racing is at the moment, you have limited options until it sort of opens up again. So if he runs here, it's just completely a starting point, and being that far out of his grade and being a distance well short of his best, it's hard to see him winning the race. It's more like a blowout for him, a starting point. We might be better off scratching and waiting a week for next Friday, where there's a $50,000 rating, 75, 1400 metres. He's rating 72.5, so that might suit him a bit better. So have a good think about that, and I think I would lean towards waiting a week and running him next week in that race, which will suit him a bit better. But it's a good starting point for him, and that's all it is.
And that concludes TubeTalk.
No, it doesn't.
What?
No, it doesn't, Doug. What do we have to do?
End of the week.
Should we dock Doug's pay?
Yes, you should.
Oh, you're being too good. So, bet of the week, Doug. So we've got a bet of the week to follow up from last week. Mm-hmm. Have I given you the bet of the week? Our bet of the week is a Flemington race 4, which is a 2600 metre race, and it's the Melbourne Cup winner, Vow and Declare. I know he's got a big weight, 61 kilos, but there's only like a 6 kilo spread in the weights. It's not a huge spread at all. It might even be 5 kilos. So he actually gets in reasonably well. Good barrier draw 3. Craig Williams on board. He ran in one of the toughest Group 1s of the year last start. The quality is nothing like it was last start. So while he's got top weight, I think he should be able to, he's settled reasonably handy, and he's an incredibly good horse, and this distance suits. And I really like Vow and Declare. Now, somebody also asked me for Sophie to give a bet of the week, and she liked, in the same race, Humboldt Current as a roughie. So there you go. An import in Chris Wallace stable. So Vow and Declare, and if you want a roughie, Humboldt Current. And that's our bet of the week. And now, Doug, you can say.
That concludes TubeTalk.
And we'll have a great Anzac weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Level 3. Bye.
And this pair have broken 3 lengths in front. Don Wong Choi, Gainful Jet, Lookaras, and then Arm Runda from Cheerwin and CJ to the middle. But it's Call Me Handsome and Bear Chum in a sterling battle. They're 3 lengths clear. Arm Runda, followed by Gainful Jet and Lookaras. Call Me Handsome and Bear Chum. Bear Chum and Call Me Handsome. Great titanic struggle. Look at Pakistan Star right out in the middle of the track from last to first. What a win this! Pakistan Star